Hey guys, today we're going to talk about Parabolic SAR. SAR does mean stop and reverse, and I'm going to explain you why it is called so, how you can read its settings, and how you can actually use it in trading with a combination of other indicators. So before we proceed, don't forget to subscribe to our channels, ring a bell in order to stay tuned to our new upcoming videos. Let's go! So let's start from the beginning. We need to add indicators to the platform. In order to do this, you need to click here, go to the trend indicator section and choose a parabolic. Here it is. So the parabolic is represented by these purple dots above and below the chart. And as you can see, from time to time, it's flipping its direction. So in this case, it was higher than the chart, and then it became lower than the chart. So I'm going to explain you how it happens, and actually this is like one of the main signals from the indicator which we're going to use in trading. So I want to mention why parabolic is called parabolic stop and reverse. So basically parabolic is a trend indicator. It's 100% trend indicator, and it's like working correctly only when there is a trend movement. What does it mean? It does mean that from time to time some trends are not going after another trend. From time to time, we're going into some flat situation, meaning that what parabolic is actually representing on the chart is that we are with some probability are going to stop, and with some probability we're going to reverse. It does mean that the current trend movement is having some, let's say, troubles, and there is some probability that we're going to stop in some flat situation, and actually in this flat situation parabolic is not working correctly. It will give you a lot of false signals, and it is not useful. So there is some probability that we are going to stop and to trade in this area, and there is some probability that we are going to reverse and go to the opposite direction. So this is like the main principle. This is why the parabolic is called so parabolic SAR, stop and reverse. So taking into the consideration the main principle of the parabolic, the main principle is the following. So as you can see, from time to time, the dots of the parabolic are switching its direction. How does it happen? Actually, it happens at the moment when the parabolic, as you can see, they are leaning a little bit downwards in this case, a little bit upwards in this case, trying to catch up the chart actually. So the idea is when this leaning dots of the parabolic is actually intersecting the price chart, for instance here, should be an intersection. In this case, the parabolic is flipping over or under the price. So where it's flipping, it's not flipping in the middle of nowhere, it's flipping right to the local minimum, local maximum of the chart. In this case, here was the local maximum, and the parabolic is represented here. Or for instance, it slipped here, so it should be an intersection here. It goes here, so it goes to the local minimum. Local minimum is located over here. And this is how the parabolic is actually working and performing. So basically, what does it mean? It does mean that there is some probability that the price will reverse at this point, and this is the main signal when the parabolic dots are appearing from the other side. So another idea, another tip for the trading is actually the settings of the parabolic. I highly recommend you to use the standard settings, which are 0.02, but you can play it out. For instance, if you make it lower, 0.1, it will become less sensitive. If it like it, I don't know, 0.5, it will be more sensitive, but there will be lots of false signals. So I recommend you to use standard 0.02 numbers over here. So another tip, and actually this is quite uncommon usage of the indicator, but I want to share this knowledge with you guys. So I guess parabolic is some sort of a twin brother to the simple moving averages, or like moving averages in general. And for instance, if we connect all the dots in some sort of a line, we can like clearly see the signal of the intersection, but it also highlights another very interesting idea. the idea of the readings of the parabolic indicator. So we can take a look at the distance between the parabolic dots and the price itself. As you can see here, the distance between the dots and the parabolic SAR is going larger. When it's going larger, it does mean that the current trend is becoming more strong. It have more power, and so with this readings, we can take into the consideration like, let's say, the velocity of the trend. So how it's moving, does it have some acceleration of the movement or not? And at some point, this distance will be decreasing, and at some point, inevitably, in 100% cases, there will be some sort of a crossover. So what does it mean? It does mean that it can help you to determine where to get into the trend. If, for instance, you are not using parabolic directly for its flipping signals, you do have another trading strategy. So you can like imagine in which kind of a trend, in which part of a trend you need to be entering in. So whether it should be the initial phase of this trend, or maybe the middle of this trend when it's like the most powerful, like the biggest movements are appearing, or in the end. So there are like a bunch of different trading strategies. So actually, we're going to talk about these combinations and trading strategies in the second half of this video. So let's go and talk about this more precisely. So now we know how to actually read the indicator, how to use its main signal. So what about the combination of the parabolic plus other indicators? I'm going to explain you how I personally use it with a combination of MACD indicator. And if you want to learn more about MACD, so please take a look at this video with the explanations. Also, I'm going to shed some light about the parabolic being used on the Forex trading. So let's go to the second part and take a look. Let's talk about the combination of the MACD and other indicators. Actually, I like to use combination with the MACD oscillator indicator. I really adore MACD because it contains like two sides of the different indicator types. It's an oscillator plus its trend indicator at the same time. So let's switch on the MACD over here. It's located in oscillators tab. So MACD consists from three elements. We will be using these two lines, MACD line and signal line, this red and green EMA lines. Also, it does have this oscillating part. The histogram is the difference between these lines. So the standard signal from MACD and the very nice and clear signal corresponding with the parabolic is actually the intersection of these lines, and when the histogram of the MACD is going to zero. So this is one intersection. We do have a signal trade up. There is a zero line here on the histogram, and we need to take a look at the parabolic. So when the parabolic is switching in direction and there is one or two, maybe in some cases three dots appear from the new position, from up or from the down, it's actually highlighting this MACD signal and increasing the probability of the reverse. So in this case, it appears on the second dot of the parabolic, and we do have very nice and clean upward signal over here. In this particular situation, we do have a signal trade down from MACD, and actually, I guess this is the second, maybe the third dot of the parabolic, and we do have a very nice and clean trade from here. So we can trade it using FTT, and I guess we will definitely be having positive trades here, like for, I don't know, 100%. It's a very, very clean shot over here. But also we can trade it with a FOREX, actually. So another and last tip that I want to mention today, how we can actually use MACD plus parabolic and parabolic in the Forex trading. So the Forex trading actually what do we need for the forex trading? What do we need in order to open up the trades? We need to open a trade somewhere. So this is the entry point. We need to put somewhere a stop loss. So Parabolic is extremely useful when we are talking about stop loss and actually about take profits as well. So for instance, we do have a signal over here to trade down. So where to put the stop loss? In the majority of the cases, stop loss is being put like a little bit higher than the local maximum or a little bit lower than the local minimum if we're trading upwards. So in this case, I guess we can put the stop loss just above this, the biggest point, the biggest dot of the parabolic itself. This is one moment. Another moment, so for instance, in this case, we're trading down and our trade is going to the positive zone. So we do have some profit. It's reasonable to actually move your stop loss. So if you are not using some levels of support and resistance or any additional ideas how to put the stop loss more narrow to the current trade, you can use parabolic dots to do this. So they're representing some sort of levels itself, and you can manually choose the stop loss location if your trade is going into positive direction according to the parabolic dots. So this is how I'm using this feature from time to time. So another very nice idea is, like, let's imagine that you are trading using some forex strategy. It can contain parabolic as a main signal or not, but there is another very important moment is like, okay, we open up a trade, okay, we put a stop loss, but at some point we need to close our trade, we need to make a take profit somewhere, right? So you can use parabolic for this. So for instance, you do have very nice trading strategy which is giving you a nice entry point. I don't know, for instance, here there is a reversal from a level, there is something from MACD or other indicators. So we do have a very nice and clean trade with a stop loss over here, and where to close this trade. So we're going down, we're going down, we're going down, and here when the parabolic is intersecting with the chart, when it's flipping around, so this can be a very nice entry point for the take profiting, right? So parabolic can be widely used in your forex trading for the stop loss, for the stop losses, let's say adjustments, and also for the take profits. So it can highlight where you need to close your trade or like think about of closing your trades, for instance, partially, something like this, highlighting this potential moments of the reverse. And this is how I use parabolic in my trading, and I hope you guys will have a lot of interesting, useful thoughts out of this video. Now you know how to use parabolic with a combination with the different indicators, how to use it on Forex, how to read its settings, and a lot of other useful information. So please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, to ring the bell in order to stay tuned to our new upcoming nice and interesting videos. And I got a question for you. So please write in the comments below this video whether you are using parabolic or whether you're using this combination of the parabolic plus MACD that I showed up, and what kind of results do you get. See you in the next video, guys. Have a nice trading.